So dynamic balance is essentially taking what we have from static balance, a good base, and transitioning it into moving. So dynamic is usually just moving. This is very noticeable when we're doing activities of daily living, like going out for a walk with our dog or our friends, maybe just walking up some curbs into the grocery store, walking across a parking lot, any time where we need to move and be steady on our feet. Vacation, walking through the airport, picking up things at different angles, right? That would be dynamic balance. And these are some of my fun things. So we're gonna do some drills with the hurdles in a second. But the first one we're gonna do to practice dynamic balance is a heel to toe walk. So go ahead and find a line, about a 5-foot segment, 5 to 7 foot segment of a line. And we're gonna be doing a heel to toe walk on this. And few variations. If you are somebody who struggles with doing a full heel to toe walk, that would be heel to toe touching. You can do a half step walk like we did earlier. So in the static balance, if you recall, we actually did a semi-tandem or a half step. You can do the same concept where you're kind of doing like not a full heel to toe walk. So we're adding a little bit of the complexity from that static balance. Again, we started with just holding this position. Now, just a little bit of movement makes it incredibly more difficult, right? Incredibly more difficult. If you're at home, you can set out a piece of string to do this. You can maybe even set out like a line, roll of towels. You can get some tape. I've done that before. Some duct tape just straight on the ground. Maybe even go outside. They might have lines in wherever you're going. If you're really crazy at this too, crazy is a good thing. You might want to try it backwards. Again, this is once you're to a point. And if you did want to try it backwards, but you're not too comfortable, you can hold on to something and kind of do it in place where you're kind of going back, reset, back, reset. Just a few different options. Again, very easy things to do at home. Some stuff and equipment that you might not have experience with, and this is one, if you're comfortable, we'll all do this together. We're going to do two drills combined with this one, and I will show you in a second. So I actually don't get a lot of time to utilize these anymore, so it kind of is fun. If you've ever done like hurdles or agility work in high school for sports, this might kind of remind you of that. We're going to do similar exercises to something that an athlete might do, but just obviously not at the speed and intensity that they would do it. So with these and how I think this is going to work, we'll get a line and we're going to go around this one first and then come back and we'll do that. So I'll demonstrate it one time. With these cones, we're going to do what I call a slalom, where you start on one side of these and then basically you walk through these in an S fashion as fast as you comfortably can. When you do that, you'll notice your body is shifting side to side, and it will take a good amount of balance to be able to hold yourself up while moving somewhat quickly, okay? You don't need to, I don't want you to hurt yourself, but just a little bit quicker of a step than normal. These are where we're going to practice going over it. So this would be mimicking like stepping up over something on a curb. If there's something on the ground that's just obviously something you want to avoid out in the parking lot or something, this is going to mimic that. These are really cool because they have different levels of the size. If you're not comfortable going up and over these, just come to the side of them, and you can either do kind of just like a step somewhat over the side, or even just kind of like use your imagination and you can step up. We'll do it on that direction though, so then these people who are going that way. So yeah, we'll just start a line, and if you're not comfortable, you can watch people first. I'm sure we got a few people who are pretty okay in doing it, but yeah, come on down. We'll probably just do this. Excellent dynamic drills. If you have towels at home, just like I mentioned, you can set these up like so. You might even have a grandkid who actually has some cones that you can do. And when you're doing this too, just really notice like your body shifting, how your feet react. It's going to be a different position than you're normally used to. And on any of these drills, if you want to try to do them a little bit faster, wait maybe a little bit for the person in front of you to go, so then you can really try to do it with a little bit more speed and intensity. So you can see just adding those tiny little implements, little things here and there, stuff you have around your home, books, etc. You can make in kind of a safe fashion little obstacle courses for yourself. And it may seem very subtle too, but we have to remind ourselves all of these little changes of balance, all of these little lifts we're doing with our leg are something out of the norm of what we normally do. And anytime you're challenging yourself out of the norm of what you normally do in fitness, that's how you improve. Very, very small things, just a little bit of repetition. We'll do one more time. We'll do one more time. So everyone will go 3 times through, and then that should cover dynamic balance pretty solid. And I also should remind everyone the power of your imagination too. If you don't have money or don't want to buy anything, you can visualize these things on the ground. You can literally just do an S with your body. You can imagine there being little hurdles or like a fence you're stepping over. These are just tactile, so if you hit them, you can know. A little easier to tell where you're at.
Something like that in physical therapy.
Yes, very, very common. And something I always reiterate too to people, the idea of getting stronger is to hopefully get to a point where you don't need to get to physical therapy. Like physical therapy is not something that you're destituted to just because you're getting a little bit older. The people who keep with their fitness, and doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit of maintenance work, a lot of them completely avoid going to physical therapy just because of that thing. Excellent. Feel free to take your seat. Again, all of these things are ideas of ways that you can work your balance and fitness when you're at home. It doesn't have to be exactly like this way, just different things. And when you start letting your imagination kind of take run of, oh, let me challenge my balance in this way, or we did something like that and I don't have exactly that implement, but I got a box of cereal I can step over. I don't know why I thought of that, but box of cereal. I probably